Welcome, fans, to another edition of Bowling Green Falcon Hockey Weekly. I'm Ryan Vallon here with head coach Chris Bergeron. Coach, it's now round 2 of the playoffs. Your team defeated Ferris State in the first round, sweeping them 2-0. Jumping right into it, the first game, your team had 64 shots on goal, north of 100 chances, and your team came out on top 2-1 in overtime.
Yeah, we felt like we played a good game. We started strong. We had a bunch of shots in the first, a bunch of chances. I mean, we don't normally create that many shots, but we were happy with our effort. We were happy with the way we were playing. Obviously, we weren't happy with the results, the scoring. It was something we fought all game long. I thought we defended pretty good. I thought Ferris had 30. Let's just say 40 to 20, something like that, and 20 chances is obviously plenty for a team to score goals. And Ryan was able to hold them to 1, and we found a way to make one more play than they did, which we felt like we deserved based on how the game had gone. We felt like we kind of had the don't be denied mentality. But we were talking a lot about don't change anything. We felt we were playing well, and we found a way to a result for sure.
The next night, you guys were able to complete the series sweep over Ferris State, this time beating 5-2. A lot more pucks went in the net on Saturday night. What can you talk about the game?
Well, what comes to mind right away is I thought we had a great start. You know, it was 2-0 after the first. We had a good number of shots. I felt like everything was where it was supposed to be as far as we were concerned. And then the second, things went sideways a little bit, and that's even after we scored to make it 3-0. So it's a 3-0 game. I think we're in a spot where we can close out the series kind of in the middle of the second period. And instead of doing that, we started to take some penalties. And those penalties led to 1 goal, and then all of a sudden they scored 5-on-5, and that momentum was totally on their side. We were chasing them around a little bit. And then the end of the second period came, which was great. Well, the first shift to the third, they have a breakaway because we totally break down in our neutral zone face-off defense, and they end up in a breakaway, and Ryan Bednarz there to make a save. And that save was one that I think woke us up that we were in a game still. Brett scores to make it 4-2 with about 17 minutes left in the game, and I think the guys on our team were able to relax a little bit and understand, okay, to be in. I didn't dislike the third period. And then we scored late on the
series for me was highlighted by 2 things. One, the freshman. Brandon Cruz scored twice in the game on Friday, and then it seemed like the whole freshman forward lineup got in a little bit on the action on Saturday night, and then also the goaltending with Ryan Bednarz.
I would start with the goaltending for sure. I totally agree. I think Ryan played his 2 best back-to-back games in his BG career. He hasn't played a lot of back-to-back games during his career here. I mean, it has started at maybe 3 or 4 series the second half of the year, but that's it. We had that 1-1 situation with him and Eric. I thought Ryan was on top of his game and played really well for us, which is the type of goaltending we're going to need. The freshman class, we've talked about this numerous times. They've all got a pretty good opportunity. I mean, the 2 names that come to mind are Johnson and Cruz for sure, but Sam Craig's had a good weekend. Cam Wright was on the score sheet, and Cruz is playing with 2 seniors. You know, so it's definitely something we're happy about that the freshmen are doing what they're doing. But I think the people around them have something to say about that too, which is great. That means we're doing it by committee, which is what we feel we need to.
Moving on to this weekend coming up, it's the WCHA semifinals. You guys are heading up to Northern Michigan, and a team that you've already seen was kind of in the early middle of January, and your team got swept by them. What do you look for in this series?
Hard series. You know, I don't want to focus on making it right. What happened the first series? This is the semifinals of our league playoffs, and that's what we want to focus on, and that's why we want to play well. You know, unfortunately, that series cost us home ice for this round. You know, full marks to Northern. They've had a great year. They deserve it. They're a team that brings a lot of things you need to be focused on. Their power play comes to mind first. They're really executing at a high percentage there, and we need to be disciplined, which is something we've been inconsistent with. Their goaltending is really strong. He's a guy that we're going to need to get to. It's just, you know, we're playing on an Olympic-sized sheet, which they've got some guys that can really get around the ice. So they bring a lot of things we need to pay attention to, but the focus for us will be our game. We weren't good on faceoffs. Our penalty kill wasn't good. and we didn't take good enough care of the puck. Those three things, after watching the games over again, the games at Northern, those three things come to mind, and we're going to have to improve in those areas. I mean, those aren't the only areas, but that's where we're going to start, and hopefully we can do that.
All right, thank you very much, Coach, for sitting down. Of course, you can catch both games. It could go 3 on the Falcon Radio Network. Of course, I'll have you covered. Don't forget to follow BG Falcon Hockey on Twitter and Instagram with the handle @BG Falcon Hockey, and we'll talk to you next week.